We waging war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Waging war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me.
Hey, what's up, friends and family? It's your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, coming again with another edition of these Motivational Mondays. And this one shall be no different. Thank you all for joining us. I started the Motivational Monday about 10 minutes ago. We had streaming problems, so I'm going to pick up right where that left off because I did see where it created the live stream. And if you can hear me out there, I know we had some problem with Facebook. So I decided to restart this Motivational Monday. So if you're out there and you coming on here for the second time, shout your boy out. I was talking about stick with it, defining, clearly articulating what it is so I can be able to stick with it when times get tough. You got to go back and listen to that first 10 minutes because now I'm picking up where I left that off. And I got to be honest. Hey, Mom, thanks for joining us. And I got to be honest, man, like life ain't no crystal stair. And back in the day when mistakes happen, I would go delete the old video, remake it all over. But I'm telling you, this is sort of like life, man. This is like life. Life is like Wi-Fi connection. Life is like social media where not everything works the way it's supposed to, how we expect it to. Like I would have loved to have shown up here, perfect everything for 45 minutes, get off and go do my thing. I would have loved for it to work that way, but life doesn't work with it. And even when technology, even when situations, circumstances doesn't work out the way that you want them to work out, it doesn't mean that every time I get to reset and start over. Sometimes it means I got to stick with it. Sometimes it means that maybe I've been ran through the mud, but I got to come out that mud and say, okay, I'm still sticking with it. Sometimes maybe I had a business to go out of business, but I still got to stick with that mindset that I didn't fail. I learned something so I could keep moving forward. Sometimes I got to learn that through the storm and through the rain, through the valleys, I got to learn how to stick with it. Here's the challenge with a lot of Americans, or should I say, here's the challenge with mere men. When mere men don't see the results they want in the moment they feel they should see them, they walk away from it. And we've lost our ability to stick with it because of the society that we live in. We believe that everything should have a microwave attached to it. We believe that it should be instant coffee. We believe it should be instant grits. We believe it should be popcorn in the microwave. We believe that everything is supposed to happen in the time frame of which I think it should. But in those moments when it doesn't, it shows your connection to the great I am who awakens your I am. It shows your level of belief when you don't see what you think you should see and you keep moving forward anyway. You got to sometime be able to stick with it when you don't see everything you think you should. I see the eyes adding up. I don't see anybody shout me out. I don't know if Facebook, I see YouTube on here. I don't know if Facebook, if you're on Facebook, you watching, man, shout me out. Let me know, make sure I can get these posts and comments to this destination. I see a lot of YouTube on here. Let me know if you're out there on Facebook because I don't know if the comments are coming through. Happy birthday, Mom. Thank you for joining me on your birthday. You got to be able to stick with it when it's not perfect conditions. Thank you, Coach T. Facebook is back online. That's what I needed right there. Thank you, Juan. Thank you, bro. Facebook is back online. That's what I needed to see because I started this message. I see my wife chiming in. Happy birthday, Mom. I started it. It dropped. I'm back in here. You got to have the ability to be able to stick with it. Can you clearly define what it is? How do I know what it is? How do I know that it is worth sticking to? See, most of us, oh my God, I'm going to do this. Most of us value it in present day, which is the biggest challenge for a human and the biggest mistake a human can make. What's up, Rod? Thanks for joining us, bro, on YouTube. The biggest mistake that a human makes, a Homo sapien, mankind, mere humans, they value it at today's market price minus inflation in the future. People look at themselves as they are today, and they make the valuation of their life story based on how they see it today. I remember I lived in a room the size of a closet. I had a mattress on the floor with a box spring and a mattress on the floor. I did not make my permanent evaluation based on my current situation because I knew there was more within me if I just had the opportunity to stick with it. And see, most of us, we make our evaluation at that point of our life when we're the lowest. Oh, I should have did this and it didn't work. You made your evaluation of your value at that moment when that was a snapshot of you learning and overcoming. Oh my God, I just broke bread. Some of us still value ourselves. Oh, I shouldn't have got that divorce. Oh, I shouldn't have quit school. Oh, I shouldn't have left that job. We're valuing ourselves at a low price because a snapshot of my life was not perfect. And we make the determining value of who I am and why I am based on the story that I tell myself. And that hinders our ability to stick with it. I'm telling you something. It takes I'm telling you, it takes a faith-filled person to look out at a life that I want and I don't see it today and say, come hell or high water, I'm getting to the life I want. And I'm going to stick with it, Coach T. I'm going to stick with it. I know right now it don't look like I deserve it. I know right now it don't look like it's going to happen. I know right now that my seeds are not producing the kind of fruit that I wanted it to, but I'm going to do what? Somebody get in that chat box. I'm going to stick with it. That's a bread-breaking moment. I am going to stick with it. Stop judging yourself based on yesterday. Start looking at your future present value. I just broke bread. Look at the ability, look out at your life, the ability of what you can be. See, this is the challenge for Homo sapiens. This is the challenge for males and females alike. They lack the vision to be able to say what I can be, and it directly hinders your ability to be able to stick with it. Oh, I interviewed 5 times. It didn't work for me. It must not be for me. No, baby, stick with it. Oh, I went to the bank to get a loan. Then I needed a loan for my business. The bank told me no 15 times. It doesn't matter. Kevin Dyson did the vacuum 10,000 before it worked. You got to have the ability to stick with it. Stick with it. The challenge that I see in most people, now I'm going to my coaching days. The challenge when I'm talking to people and I hear issues and I hear situations and I hear what's going on in people's lives and they say, Aunt, can you help me make it better? Can you help me make it better? The main thing I hear when I'm in these coaching conversations is how they base their future on a past situation or a past mistake or a past failure or a past, let's call it not failure. Let's call it they missed the mark. And because people miss the mark, they believe that that mark cost them the good thing they desire. And they start making decisions from a mind that's half loaded, half cocked to stick with it. Because I somehow believe I don't deserve it because I made this mistake or I made this decision and this didn't work out for me. So I somewhat halfway believe I deserve it. And so our effort is now halfway to go get it. And I'm telling you right now, I don't make these things spiritual, but I want you to know today that God's grace is sufficient for wherever mark you missed. Let his grace cover the missed mark and you believe that there's something more about you. Can you prove that, motivational teacher? Can you prove that, motivational teacher? Yeah, the great I am sees your life from the end to the beginning. Oh my God. He sees your life from the end to the beginning. He saw your impact and then he made you to create the impact. The impact came before you did. Oh my God, I just let somebody out of prison. I just let somebody out of prison. Like your value is not based on the mark that you missed. Your value is based on how he saw you from your own genesis. I declare the end from the beginning. He made you because he saw your impact and he worked backwards with your life. So there's no way, if you stick with it, there's no way you can fail. Oh my God, I just broke bread. I just broke bread. He sees the end from the beginning. He's not like a man. The great I am is not like a man. We're looking day by day at the small cart in front of us like a train. We sit there, we look at a train, we look at each individual cart. The great I am is looking at your life like one large train. Like, baby, I know exactly how many carts attached to this train. Come on, Coach T. I know exactly how many carts attached to this train. I know exactly when you're supposed to get the breakthrough. I know exactly when you're supposed to hit the finish line. I know exactly when you're supposed to get the loan. I just need to see you stick with it. Oh my God, that's bread breaking. I ain't talking to nobody, but I'm talking to me right now. I just need to stick with it long enough to know that it's coming, baby. I got one chiming into this conversation. All week I've been talking to God, family, and friends about me quitting my doctorate study because I'm so tired and there's so much going on. So your message today is resonating with me greatly. Thank you. I will stick with it. Come on, bro. Hey, bro, you just testified this week. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Like, we are a community of people waging war on mediocrity. We all got the same issues in our life, but we just choose to what? Get in that chat box. Stick with it. Narrow is the way. My wife chiming in this conversation. Stick with it. If it was easy, everyone would have it. You got this. It's time to turn you up. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man. Like, I'm telling you, your life has already been decided from the end to the beginning, man. You should be, boy, one of the strongest and most faith-filled people out there in this earth. He said, I see your life from the end to the beginning, and from ancient times, the things that are not done, saying, my counsel shall stand forever. I'm telling you right now, that man, listen to your boy. Hey, I'm going to prophesy mode. Listen to your boy right now. The moral of the story is that nothing can stop you. That nothing can stop you. That nothing can stop you. Death, nor the life, principalities, power, wickedness, and how. There's nothing that can stop you if you're willing to stick with it. Talk to him, Dr. Chris, from one doctor to another. Dr. Warren is loading. There's nothing can stop you. Man, I'm breaking bread right now. His counsel shall stand forever. If I declared your end and then I started you, what can separate you? What can man do? I don't care. I mean, listen, I don't care how bad, how grim it looks. I'm telling you right now, because you were started, I already know you were finished. And if you're finished, then I know that if you're here, then I know there's a desired end for your life. So don't feel like you're just out here wavering and don't really have purpose, don't really have any value to your life. I'm telling you, your best days are on the other side. I'm telling you right now, if you just stick with it long enough, you will get your desired end. I'm breaking bread right now. There is no question. There's no question to your existence. Because you're here, I know that you were meant to be great. There's no, let's settle it in the earth right now. I know that I'm here for a clear, defined purpose. I know I have a defined it because he looked at my life at the end and he said, okay, it's time for me to start. People that don't have a clear, defined purpose right now in this earth have not been started. Only people that have a clear, defined end, man, I love that. Boy, I'm going somewhere tonight. I declare the end from the beginning. Because I'm here, I know there's something I must accomplish. Like, you got to see your life as not just a circumstances of events. You got to see your life as an orchestrated plot. Oh my God, like watching a movie to get you to a desired end if I stick with it. Oh, he's telling your life story right now. But most of us get so caught up in one scene. Some of us get caught up in one scene of our lives that it dictates the outlook in the finale of the movie. Man, I'm breaking bread right now. What if the life you're living today was not the life you're supposed to live? What if you got caught up in the scene of lack and unbelief? And that was only supposed to last for 20 minutes, and we've been there 20 years. That moment in time was only supposed to last for that season in your life. But because we became so emotionally attached to that scene, now it has bled over to the following scene and to the following scene. But that scene was only meant to be in your life for a brief period of time. But now we're allowing that scene to affect the rest of our days. My God, that's a bread-breaking moment right there. It's time for, I love the fact that T.D. Jakes just wrote another book called Disruptive Thinking. It's time to disrupt that scene in our mind, and it's time to get moving into what I've been truly called to do. I gotta say this. You are the only person that has the right to forfeit your greatness over your own life. Not your mama, not your spouse, not your grandmama, not your kids. You are the only person that can, God gave the power only to one person to either give birth or to abort your dream. He gave the power only to you to make the decision to abort or to give birth to the promise. Only one person. I know that we got a true enemy, and I'm not discounting that we have a true enemy. We do have a true enemy. That when I try to do good, evil is right there with me. We have a true enemy that wants to steal, kill, and destroy. We have a true enemy, but I got to tell you, the great I am came so that you can have life and have it more abundantly. Like at the end of the day, what story am I going to believe? At the end of the day, who words? I love this. When I used to watch the Kitchen Stadium, Iron Chef, who words will reign supreme in your life? How you going to make the decision? Either I'm going to believe, I'm going to unbelieve. They're going to all be mixed in there, but all the whole time I got these mixed emotions. I got to keep moving. I got to just stick with it. And you say, motivational teacher, some days it get tough. I know the days that it's tough is the days you learn the most about sticking with it. And I'm telling you, as you make it through those tough days, it makes it very difficult to give it back because I've already known what I've been through to get it. I've been through too much to forfeit it based on one storm, based on something not going right this one day, this 1 month, this 1 year. I've gone through too much. I think James Cleveland said, he didn't bring me this far. He brought me this far to leave me. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. And I'm telling you, there's a giant on the inside of you. But that giant needs for you to stick with it. There's an overcomer on the inside of you. That overcomer needs for you to stick with it. There's a 6-figure, 7-figure business, job, salary, bonus on the inside of you. But it needs for you to stick with it. The great I am says, I see your life from the end to the beginning. And from ancient times, the things that are not done, my counsel shall stand forever. I need for you to believe that your best days are in front of you. I need for you to believe that if I could continue to put one foot in front of the other, eventually I'll get to my goals, I'll get to my dreams, and I will ultimately fulfill the purpose for my life. That's our goal. It's ultimately every human, every man wants to feel a purpose for their life. And some misguided, some misunderstood, but for the most part, most people want to fulfill the purpose of their life. And I'm challenging you today to make that decision. I saw one chime in, to make that decision to stick. Thank you, Kendra. Lord, help me to stick with my best days are in front of me. Yes, they are. We got to make that decision when the moments are tough. That God, I'm not going to be unstable in all my ways. I believe. And I'm going to tell you this, if it's not the it you're supposed to be sticking with, it will point you in the direction of which it is. And God will grant that it to you as righteousness. And you don't start from scratch with the new it. Everything you learned about the old it goes with it, but I got to stick with it. I got to stick with it. I've invested too much. God has given me. I've been through too much. I've had too many fights. I've wrestled with this thing all night long until it freed. I got a limp because I've wrestled with it so long. I got to stick with it because I've given too much already. I've given myself to it. I got to stick with it. I told you, he declared the end from the beginning. Because you're here, there's a desired end, man. You got to stick with it. You got to stick with it. I know days get long. I know battles, sometimes we get weary. I know sometimes we feel that we're unequipped for the fight. I know sometimes it seems like my friends who supposed to be with my family, that's supposed to be with me are somehow greatest enemies when it's time to fight. But I know sometimes it gets lonely. I'm telling you, it's those moments where we learn the most about God's grace being sufficient for us. And those are the times we learn the most about the cost to stick with it. Any man that put his hands to the plow and look back is not fit for the promise. It's in those moments where we learn the cost, the price of sticking with it. And I'm challenging us out here today that there's a 2.0 version of you. I'm not saying divorce who you are today, but I am saying grow into a new version of you tomorrow. Every day is an opportunity to learn, to grow. This world is our library. Every day there's an opportunity to learn and grow. And that's how we get to the next level of this process. Sticking with it is all about becoming who you're supposed to become to obtain the promise. It's not that God wants you to go through so many different negative experiences to obtain the promise. It's all about what you become and you through the process so you can manifest and you can maintain the promise. I can't give a 9mm to my 9-year-old, my 10-year-old. He's not equipped to manage the 9mm. I can't go out there and give my car to my 13-year-old and say, hey, go to the gas station and get me a Diet Coke. I can't do it because he's not equipped right now to manage the promise. But there's a process to get him equipped. And that process may take 3 more years to get him equipped to be able to manage the promise. And the great I am is looking at your life and awakening your I am, like I am equipping you through the process. Sticking with it teaches you more about you than it does about it. Oh my God, that's a bread-breaking moment right there. That's a bread-breaking moment right there. Sticking with it teaches you more about you than it does it. There's a version of you that must be present to obtain it. If you get to that version of you, it will find you. All these other things will be added unto me. Why? Because now I'm a version where it is of myself, where it can find me. I'm not looking for it. I'm looking for growth and development, and it is looking for me. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been truly a bread-breaking moment tonight. And if you can, like my boy say, understand the words coming out of my mouth tonight, I'm telling you, you possess the power to change your life forever. And not only your life, but I challenge you to let your kids sit down with you and listen to something like this so we can start shaping their minds to believe that there is no limitations to them if they stick with it. Then let them know that their own self-development determines how when you get it. It ain't the imps, it ain't the devils, it ain't the haters. It's your own self-development determines when you obtain it. It is within your grasp, but it requires that you give it all to get it. It's your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, bringing you another edition of these Motivational Mondays. I want to thank y'all for chiming in. Please share this with 4 or 5 friends. Let them know that it is waiting for the version of you that can go get it. Man, in a world where people are so, like there's so many people just not fighting for their goals and fighting for their dreams. Information like this is needed. Please share this with 4 or 5 people, please. And until next time, I'm challenging you to wage war on mediocrity. Your boy is out.
It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It